All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for March Comes In Like a Lion, Season 2, Episode 13.
Okay,
yeah.
So, Mr. Kokubu is absolutely amazing.
Amazing,
and we
yes.
don't deserve him. And,
Amazing.
And that horrible, horrible person that is the parent of the devil child.
Yes. If anything, you could call her the warlock and her mother her sugar daddy patron. Just like,
no.
There's no proof. And it's just like,
Nope.
Get back, witch.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just not do that.
Yeah.
But Kokubu is here,
Yes.
and Akari's there, and Hina's there, and it's going well. It's rough waters,
Yes.
but it's going well.
But it looks like it's on the uptick. And he asked her, so how do you want to do this? So I think that's about as many references I can shuffle into this intro bit here, Jacob. So
so let's see how it goes.
Yeah, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. All right, everyone, we're going to be starting the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Oh.
Yes, everything will be deja vu.
No.
Hina is amazing.
And Akari is amazing, too.
And Akari is also amazing.
Apparently, her name means light.
Wow.
Akari. Just, Yeah, good guy.
Yes.
Cool. All right.
So many bright colors.
Cool. Because Soya and Rei are going to have their match at some point, showcasing them in the same shot, in this OP, I love that Harunobu's also in the OP, prominently just being, like, happy
himself,
too, because, it gives me hope that he'll be okay. He'll be okay, yeah. Lots of the Kawamotos, though.
Which I am all for.
Oh, yes.
I am all for.
They are
Can
all
you feel
perfect.
the love tonight?
Oh.
What?
Just the camera. There's a thematic thing I think I just realized. Oh, that's interesting.
What?
I'll save it for the discussion, but...
Small palm. Is this going to be about Momo?
Oh. Whoa. Wait.
Okay.
Wait, so she admitted?
Okay.
She admitted?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Or are they just going based off of Hina saying these people did it? Whoa, what a question.
That is, yeah.
Oh, shoot. We're getting existential here. Let's go. Yep. It is.
Interesting.
Yeah, Soka. Ha! Oh! Oh, shoot!
Yeah, that's a great point.
Whoa! Whoa, this
Yeah.
guy is not being... Yeah, how do you feel? This is good, okay.
Yeah.
So it's counseling, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Aw. Cool. Having a little garden here.
Yep. Helping something grow.
Oh.
Yeah, what did he say?
Yeah, what did he say?
Oh, is it the thing of the...
Whoa, whoa. Whoa.
Okay.
Oh, dang. Oh, and now that they're gone. Whoa.
Nice.
Whoa.
Nice.
Holy crap.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So everyone individually, one by one, comes out one at a time. Oh, and it's all brought to light.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we don't want things to reverse all the way around. But this seems amazing, though, in terms of a... Yep, that's true.
Right.
But still, that's a good start. That's a great start.
That is a very solid start.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
That doesn't seem right.
Yep. Sakura's not. Yep. Chiho's not. Yep. Yeah. What? Whoa.
Okay.
Oof. Yeah, these kids definitely do need counseling. Jeez. Holy crap. Oh my god. Oh. Those are two very different things. Yeah. 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 Oh.
Wow.
That's some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Snore, snore, snore.
On top of Momo.
She's like, it's hard to breathe. These fat lards are on top of me. What?
Uh-oh. Wait.
No, this is a good thing.
Okay.
Oh my god, yes!
Yeah!
Yes!
Yeah!
Yes! Good! Good! Oh. Oh. Oh, that's sweet. Oh. Oh my god, that's so cute. Big fluff ball. Oh. Hana. It's like your name, Hina. Hmm. No peers, though. See that?
Yeah, uh-huh. I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm. So this is probably why she's writing Hina. Because she's the first peer
Sure.
she can think of. Oh, her mom's there
Cool.
too? That's awesome. Oh, okay, cool. So family is close by.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's great.
I like that the parents are very involved in a good way here. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I was waiting
Of
for
course.
this. I was waiting for this. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. Ah, they're
Interesting.
literally bringing up the then your peers, basically. Oh.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Wow, that's okay.
Oh.
Aww.
Hmm. Aw. Yeah. Yeah. Makari, yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Oh, that was
That's
beautiful.
great.
That was
That's great.
wonderful. Ah.
In the sun.
Okay.
Well, Hinata means sun.
Yes, yes. Good point. Yes.
Is Ray gonna be gonna be able to tell the difference with Hina?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Hopefully they're not upstairs, bathing or something.
Or in the living room.
Yeah.
The sun is in the sun.
Oh, the sun is in the sun, yes. That is such a typical cat thing, just like,
yep.
Boom. She's just napped out. Oh. Yeah, so be quiet, yeah.
Those loud rustling plastic bags down.
Right. Too real, yes. Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah.
'Cause she's at
that's
peace.
Nice. Oh. Okay, don't be too creepy, right?
Well, she hasn't been able to be like this in a long time.
Right. But I love the little discs in the air, because some of them are connected together, so they look like the infinity symbol. Basically,
oh, sure.
The kind of eternal. Oh, he went and took a nap too. Ah!
There you go.
Nice.
I can't keep him down.
Ah.
It's that thin.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Hina can make jam from it and then take it with her when she sees
Right.
Chio.
Yep.
Ray just might be smitten.
Yeah. Oh. Hmm. Ah. Nice. Oh. And she's able to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And now Ray feels like he's in the sun because
Yeah.
she's glowing.
Yeah. Oh. Cool. Now we're back here, and this whole time's it.
Hey.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
Did he go and buy her cookies? Oh, nice. Yeah. The 5Ks. Did you notice that? And this is so great. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good. No, this is great. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh. Oh,
That's adorable.
this is amazing. Oh. Hot!
Yeah, it's still hot. Yeah. Aww. Oh. But they were still sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ha! With tea and like 50 cookies, you know, between 5 girls. That's awesome.
But there's something different.
Yeah. Because they represent, you know, the friendship that we can now have. Yeah. Ah.
That's a big old smile.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then this is where she says, "You stupid baka."
Yep. Yep. Yep, right here. I know. I know. Hmm. Oh.
But that's how it feels, right?
Oh. Ah! Yeah, there it is. There it is.
There we go. Uh-huh. Yep, yep,
They're
yep.
still holding hands. Oh.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Ah.
Okay. All right.
That was good. Woo!
Okay.
That was so warm.
That was great. That was
wow.
great.
Oh.
So, but the thing is, because that was fantastic. This whole bit with the bullying, though, it's kind of over and done with. Like there will be the post, right? The stuff with Chiho, I'm sure we're going to see that, or at least some stuff revolving around that, right?
The echoes of it should last for still a long time, because the thing I'm wanting to make sure doesn't happen is that it turns into a situation where the bullies feel like they only have each other, and or they end up with some kind of animosity towards each other, and individuals of them end up getting isolated and or kind of socially rejected from the rest of the group.
Well,
because of a lack of, because of bitterness. I mean, let's be real. Like,
oh yeah,
like it's gonna be really hard for them to forgive them.
What I would love to see, and this is maybe like, I mean, this isn't what the story's about, but the bullies do feel animosity towards each other.
Yeah.
And then they actually talk about it. Like if they can find ways to process their negative feelings towards other people in ways better than, ostracizing them and things like that, then wonderful, they've learned their lesson.
Possibly. Okay. All
right.
That was a wholesome, triumphant two-parter.
Yep.
So
and it was so mellow, even if in its triumphant nature. Because that was the thing that kind of surprised me. They're just like, okay, yeah, the bullying things,
we're adults, we're smart.
Exactly.
Here's how we'll handle
we know
this.
how to do this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing that's genius about this. I love the simplicity of the tactic of, all right, Hina, you've dealt with this for a bit. Do you have a fair assessment of who were the people that did this? And she's like, yeah, I have a pretty good approximation. Okay, so the others aren't going to tell us, but you're willing to tell us? Yeah. Okay, we're going to take them and individually remove them from a separate area and have them each get some kind of a little bit of minor counseling questions asked from the teachers. And then they'll basically confer their stories with what the class remaining is able to talk about based on the fact that they no longer feel the worry about the tattling essentially getting passed along to the bullies because they're all in individual setups that are removed from this one. It's perfect. There is like the extremely slight chance that it backfires, but it's like so extremely slight that this was nearly like perfect. Perfect.
And the thing is that even if it wasn't something that single-handedly resolved everything, because in a lot of ways it didn't. In a lot of ways it didn't. That's fine, but it's still definitive, substantial progress that's being made. And if there is an issue beyond that, then you resolve that as it becomes an issue.
As it becomes an issue.
Okay, I know that this isn't a D&D game, but this feels like an example of those situations where, like, whenever in storytelling, it's like a thing of sort of that general BS of, oh, there's no proof. It's like, there's always a way to creatively solve situations. And what I love here is that this is a situation where, as far as the kids are concerned and and things like that, I mean, they're kids, they wouldn't know what to do. They wouldn't know how to handle something like this. Then you have the adults that come in and they're like, okay, this is an actual problem.
We're taking it seriously.
We're taking it seriously. And once they take it seriously,
it's solved instantly.
It solves very quickly.
In terms of people that use critical thinking and some kind of logical thought process here, obviously we can't expect that of the kids. But if you get a group of adults together that have some semblance of sanity and some logical critical thinking skills,
and have probably dealt with this before.
Probably not to this extreme, but they've probably dealt with this before, or they have resources from which they can pull to give insight on experiences like this. This kind of solution feels like something you'd come up with after 30 to 45 minutes of one meeting together. Like, that's how simple it is. Now, what's funny is that I think in an individual basis, I think an individual wouldn't necessarily have come up with this exact thing that easily. But the idea that all these teachers, all of them came in and presented themselves as, we're all taking this seriously. It sends two messages. One, to the bullies, that the school is taking it seriously, so this might change some things. But two, the bigger message it sends to everyone else that we are on your side.
Because,
and we are taking this very seriously.
Because that's the main thing.
It is the main thing.
They mention that as kind of like a just a comment kind of a thing, but the fact that it was a very definitive shift in the atmosphere of the class of like, oh, they're actually going to do something about this. Okay, now it's okay. Because otherwise, even with all the bullies gone, they might have been like, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything.
In fact, there might have been. This is actually one of the things I was worried about, but I'm glad they're keeping it simple to move the story along, because this was my minor slip up thing that I was worried would happen. Was that there was a protector amongst the bullied, and that person they would all look to and go, we won't say anything, and they'll look at them and basically be like, that protector is basically the one that looks out, that basically became the interim leader of the oppressed. In this case, they didn't have one of those because they were all isolated effectively, so it was always a 1 versus 6. I think that was the number of bullies there were. But if there was, they could have looked to them and been like, we got it. don't tell anyone, don't tell anything, and they could have stonewalled the teachers. It would have made things difficult, but then they probably would have found a way to then go and isolate the kids that are in the class, and then go, it's okay. Tell us the thing here.
If it really got down to it, they could have basically, and this would have been tougher, but they leave one teacher in the classroom, right, and then go through and then have the
interview the kids one at a time.
And you know, because there's so many teachers, maybe 5 at a time, you know, or whatever, right? You know, it wouldn't be that difficult, right?
It wouldn't. No.
You go through the whole class, you come back, and then you're like, okay, and then now we have information, and while there could still be the potential of the kids being like, well, the other kids will be able to know that I was the one who told them or whatever,
and we'll be like, no, you're fine. We're gonna still interview everyone, and we'll just let them know that someone said something,
right?
And in some ways, this is kind of one of those funny but like interrogation kind of sequences in those stories where it's all like, we already got your buddy to say something on this, and they're like, oh, they spoke. Oh, well.
Yeah, that's actually a great point. Anytime you have you had something like that, if the kid was scared, they could have been like, it's okay. Someone already said, we're just, you know.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah.
Of course, if you do that, then they might not say anything because they're like, oh, well, now I don't need to say anything.
The point is I love that the adults are shown as competent here.
Exactly.
Because it contrasts the fact that the teacher who was dealing with this alone on her own was not able to handle it solo. It's not that she was incompetent. If anything, the fact that she lasted this long showcased that she had some aspect of mental stamina, but she was not mature enough in order to basically bring the situation to other teachers, maybe because she was worried about her job security. Maybe because she was worried about the repercussions that would happen on her from the kids. There's a whole bunch of factors involved there. And while this story is somewhat saying, hey, solved, we're moving on, the application, not the application, but the execution of these things here is being
very
handled
satisfying,
very well. And I liked that they showed the counseling session with the main leader of the bullies, and basically having this situation. I think her last name was Takagi.
Yeah, I believe so.
Takagi, and her basically having this kind of thing of, well, you know, what's the deal? I apologized, and him saying, well, we need to make sure that you're aware of what you did. And then interviewing some of the other girls, talking about, like, you know, do you know what compassion is? And they're like, what is that, like hypocrisy or something? And I was just like, oh my god, like, wow, we need to talk about that. But the idea that Kokubu was basically saying, the idea that their responsibility is not just to teach the kids, but also raise the kids. That's something I was unaware of. I just gotta say, I did not know that would be put underneath the umbrella of a public school education system, that on some level there is a duty to raise the kids up in a way that would edify their character.
Right.
Because this is something that obviously they have to protect the safety of the kids when it comes to the health and well-being. So that means there should be no aggression or any kind of acts made against the kids, you know, individually and stuff. That's the bullying, right?
Yeah.
But the idea that they then go, okay, something about your psyche, something about your internal state is not up to the standards of this school. We are going to raise you up to those standards via our direct involvement. That's...
You know
that's
what it reminds me of?
What is that?
It reminds me of the vice principal's rant at the end of Great Teacher Onizuka, where he's like, did you forget that this is our sacred vocation as teachers to raise and teach?
Oh, you're right.
You know, and because I don't know exactly what teaching is like in Japan, but I know that it's something that is very, very respected, or at least it was.
Yes.
You know, and
maybe that's just a trend throughout the education history around the world, is that there has been a downward trend in the way teachers are treated, but also how that trickles down to the students, and then the whole culture of it. Maybe,
but there was this idea that you know, I don't think but back when it was back when it was a thing where Japan had an emperor, it was something where the teachers were the only ones that were not bound by law to bow to the emperor.
Whoa.
That basically it was considered a very much a sacred vocation where it's
Gotcha.
where it's you are helping raise the next generation.
The future of this whole country.
The future of this country
depends on
is in your hands, kind of a thing.
Okay.
Right? Now, of course, and this is all secondhand information, but it was
gotcha.
But it was something where it's like, you still want to do it because be respectful and all that.
Right.
But the idea that was something that they could do.
Whoa.
Like because there was this idea that you are raising the next generation, right?
Do you think that has a lot to do with the fact that as a lot of areas modernize and stuff, we went from a 10%, education, like kind of rate to a explosive. Now
just
we're getting
everyone
educated. Like it becomes a mass market thing that not only the rich and privileged would be able to have access to, and that like the understanding of how valuable that was changed the way a lot of these cultures viewed the educators of their time.
Well, because what was it? It was I think it was Confucius or something that said, like, if you're planting for like a year, then plant rice. If you're planting for a year, plant rice. If you're planting for 10 years, plant trees. And if you're planting for 100 years, then like plant schools or something like that.
That might have been him. I'm not sure.
Where it was basically, saying like that's the the big long-term most important thing is to is
educate.
Education. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I'm not sure. I don't have
and
too
I think
many.
Confucius was actually Chinese. Now that I think about it, but the point is,
yeah.
But
the idea of the sacred vocation,
right?
The idea of there being this duty that goes beyond the paycheck in a lot of ways. It goes to what example you set for those that are in your care, goes beyond just the immediacy of the time you even have with them, because those that you teach and raise will then beget those that will then be taught and raised by your the people that come after you.
And the fact that Kokubu was spending all of this time with Takagi, that is huge, because because teachers are overworked in general anyways, right? And the fact that in his busy schedule, he is spending all this time with one student who doesn't even want to learn in this sense, right? Like, they don't want to be here with him. They don't want to do all this stuff. And hence why
it's awkward. It's embarrassing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And hence his comment on, I forget exactly what the words he used.
Which part?
But it was basically him talking about, like, if only it were so simple, like, like teaching versus raising and things like that.
Well, yeah, basically he said, I would not have been involved in this whole situation if the raising part of this was not a part of my vocation.
Yeah, exactly. And that's absolutely fantastic, because that's the why of what he's doing.
Exactly.
But then also just the idea that, here's this kid that absolutely does not want to listen to him, and getting someone to learn when they don't want to learn is very difficult.
Right, because this isn't teaching, this is raising.
Right.
And that's the thing that I think is really, really impactful here, is that I'm going to draw a parallel here, but I think there's a reason why we have the whole thing at the end with the whole Ray being like, in spite of all that, I did nothing, basically. And then she chastises him for the nothing.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Right. What I'm drawing a parallel here to that is that in some ways, Ray didn't teach Hina anything, but Ray raised up Hina in a way of looking at things, in that she was in a low place, and he helped give her steps.
Right.
To where all he had to do was be there, and they were ways to pull her out of a lower situation. It wasn't anything where he basically pulled her up in terms of raising. It's not something where he even pushed her up and exerted any effort. So he's looking at this and going, yeah, I didn't push you. I didn't
This was
pull
all
you. This was all you. So I did nothing. And she's like, are you kidding me?
Right.
If anything, like, you provided so many opportunities for me to stand up, to step up, to, and it's not a thing of her being brave in those instances there. it'd be basically like, imagine if you were floating on a lily pad, and if you made the slightest bit of movement, the whole thing would collapse. Someone comes by and basically like puts their hands there, as like, you can stand on this. This will be a a firm thing that you can.
Or in another example,
okay,
something that they brought up this episode that I absolutely loved: gardening.
Okay, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
with gardening, you have no control over the plant, right? You know, like you can choose where to plant it and things like that. You know, it's the whole Kung Fu Panda conversation.
But you are raising the plants.
And you give them what they need. You give them the water. You give them all that stuff.
Yes.
But the actual growing is something that the plant has to do.
Right.
And that's what happened here.
You can't stop. You can't make the sun shine more.
Right. But you can definitely starve out that plant, and you can make it so that it dies.
Yep.
Right. Because it needs all the help it can get.
Right. You can choose not to water it.
Right.
You can plant it in a bad place.
Right. And and if you plant it in a bad place, if you don't water it, you know, it doesn't get sunshine, all that stuff, it will die.
Not grow.
It will
not be raised up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
I like that.
And in this situation, and that's one of the things why I feel like Akari felt kind of so helpless, because you know, in the previous episode, and she was like, I'm sorry, you know. And then Hina was able to be there for her.
The medicine worked. So, do you remember the line of Akari saying like, well, look, the medicine worked after all? What you can look at that also from the plant perspective is that Ray was basically just adding a little bit of fertilizer, a little bit of nutrient growth. It wasn't even that he helped Hina be planted. It wasn't even maybe that he helped her do the daily.
Right.
Like with the watering, basically. That's maybe coming from the environment that Hina could go back to. She would get basically brought back to a level playing field. But the thing that would boost her up, the thing that would be like that, like he was the special little seasoning that would come in and basically go, oh, I can grow a little bit today. That was what Ray did.
And and when we're at our lowest point, we're open to the greatest change. So the fact that it was something where he was there for her
at the right times,
right? Even if it's all those no big deal things.
Which nice.
I love that reference is able to be used in this episode when they had another character that was just a throwaway side character named Kawashima. It's like, okay, all right. I like to now. I'm sure that's a common name.
But it's a very common name.
But I like to think that maybe the mangaka is also a Toradora fan. So you know, I mean,
it's possible.
But
it's possible.
But the idea that to Ray, he's thinking, well, yeah, they're not. I mean, come on, playing shogi with her, that's nothing, right? And yet it's everything,
right?
Yeah. And the fact that he was there for her in those moments.
Yeah.
You stupid Baka. What do you mean that's
Baka.
nothing?
Okay, so we have all this wonderful stuff with the two of them. We have the counseling aspect of the bullies being a thing that will probably matter a lot going forward, but we also have this bit of putting a bow on past plot lines that I feel like really needed this with regards to giving us a happy ending, which is what's going on with Chiho Sakura.
Yes.
Now, she is in an environment where she is isolated from peers.
Yep.
Let's not forget that.
Right.
This is a very wholesome environment where it is safe, but it is also limited.
Yeah. And that's something I was kind of worried about when they were showing that environment before they went into the three steps. Because I was like, this is not sustainable, and in fact, this could end up being damaging long term, because then her what confidence that she had, even if it wasn't very much, is basically told that it will never grow again, because it's the idea that everyone else now thinks that you're some broken thing that can only exist in a controlled environment.
Sure. Or it's a thing of where she's limited in her perception of her own abilities based on her environment.
Sure.
And let's be real here, environment is always stronger than willpower. So if you're basically saying, okay, now you're just limited based on your environment, you will cling to essentially the umbilical cord of certain safety things that aren't.
But the fact that they were basically like, no, we've got plans here, you know. Basically, you can start at ground zero. Just make friends with some animals. We've got some adorable animals here, and you know, there you go. And then from there, you know, you can become friends with some of the adults, right? You know, and it's like, and then later, you know, you can become friends with peers. Right?
Yeah.
And they don't even tell her about that at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, no, That's great. Because it shows that basically it's something where it's meeting her where she's at, but it's not telling her to stay where she's at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they're not telling her you need to hurry up and
finish
go through
these 3 steps.
Finish these 3 steps. No, they're not doing that.
Yeah.
But it's it's raising, it's allowing her to grow at her own pace.
Yeah.
But it's very much setting up these steps for her to grow in, back to where she used to be, so that she can actually interact with her peers and go back to a regular school again.
God, I was like fighting back the tears at the letter, because there's this aspect of Sakura having or Chiho or whatever, but her character being one that was based on last we saw her or heard from her, that she was needing counseling and all this extra stuff and attention and everything, and I was worried that it was going to turn her into a person who is constantly in need of support and isn't able to operate independently again.
Yep.
But one of my favorite things about this whole thing was how the parents were involved with the whole thing here, because in these kinds of stories where it's a kid in their adolescent stage of in the beginning stages of adolescence, basically, starting to transition into adulthood and all those wonderful changes and all that stuff that you're going through and things like that. One of the toughest things about that is you start to essentially break off the umbilical cord, if you will, from your parents.
Yep.
And you end up, most of us, going through a little bit of that rebellious phase. Yeah. The aspect of just kind of like, I don't need you anymore, Mom, Dad, whatever, or you guys don't know me, or what have you.
Now please feed me.
I hate you. You're gross. When's dinner? Oh my God. But with this whole bit here, what we saw was, if anything, a very natural flow of the parents kind of interjecting their time and space and energy into her life, but having it always be congruent with what the plans for this place are. So the parents have perfect trust in not only the place's ability to help her and to heal her and to help restore her to where she was, but trust in Chiho to be able to go through this process and come out better. There is so much I could say, so much I would have said in probably a bit of a frustrated rant, if this had turned into a thing where they were constantly checking up on her with a worry, any bit of, is everything okay? Is everything going to be wonderful? And we just want to keep you as close as possible and just tie you there. No. All they're doing is they're giving their support and just being there. Well, and it's perfectly congruent with the places thing there. So
and one of the things that's great is when they talked about the mom being there, it wasn't that she was there to be with Chiho.
Yes,
she was just helping out at the place
with the plum stuff that they made.
So there's the idea that there's the proximity and the comfort that's there, but she is not there for Chiho.
Yes.
Now maybe she actually is, but I'm sure that they took care to basically, one, make it not feel like that, but then to also make it not actually be that, right?
Yes.
So that way Chiho can grow into her own and feel like she is actually doing this herself.
Right. She's not being helicoptered.
Right, exactly. It's not parents basically just sort of walking her through the steps, right? Because then that wouldn't feel like she was doing it herself. She wouldn't gain that confidence.
That's so huge.
So
that's so huge.
Because the thing is that that's something where I could see it have I could see it going very differently because of the best intentions of the parents, but it ends up absolutely crippling their child.
Yep.
And that would suck.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah. It was all for me, though, once I saw how I'm a sucker for dads and daughters.
Yeah.
And what guy out there isn't, in terms of the whole, like, the adorable
sweetness and lightning,
the adorable aspect of that story there. I mean some guys aren't interested in kids, and that's totally cool. That's their thing. But the idea that the dad was not someone who was in proximity to the daughter as much before, because of what have you, work or what have you. But the idea that he was at the very simplest bit, the cab, the chauffeur driving her to and from these locations. Here's the thing. I have fond memories of when I got to spend time with my dad just in the car. And there was nothing, there was no prerogative as to anything that we would talk about, but it was time spent one-on-one that we could just chat if we wanted to.
Yeah.
And the thing is I could totally see it as being a thing where if it was anything else, it would be like, well, no, I don't really have anything else other to say than I am impressed with how, with just the simplest facial expression from the dad, I was able to understand how healthy this dynamic was.
Yeah.
And how also important it was, and maybe it's projecting, but how important it was for Chiho that this was a consistent thing.
Yes.
That he was just there to do. Because I think it mirrors in a lot of ways what Ray was doing.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, I feel like the mom's is different because Ray can't go to the friend's house and make cookies with Hina. That's not going to happen.
Right.
But he can go and find her at Tokyo and basically just give her medicine. Right. Now, the thing that's really important is not the medicine. It's the fact that he came there and found her.
Exactly.
Now, that's a lot different in terms of structure than what the dad did. But the idea is that it's the proximity. It's the intentional proximity.
It's the security that comes from knowing that this is someone I can depend on, right? In a time when everything is getting pulled away, right? When nothing is secure, when you don't, when you're not sure about anything, not even yourself, really, to have someone that basically is just there
consistently.
Just consistently, and they don't have to be doing anything. It's just someone that's there. That is huge.
That's huge.
We both had periods of time where transitioning into like when we were going to adulthood and everything, and we were going to school, and we each had our period of time where our dad would drive us to the school early in the morning, and then pick us up afterwards, and those are some of my fondest, most cherished memories, because you'd talk about anything from like something funny on the radio to hey,
what have you.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's so incredibly precious.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, and then we have this adorable moment in the second half of the episode where we're then realizing, oh wow, this is going to happen.
Yep.
And in some ways, I didn't really care if it happened.
Yeah, me neither.
Like, I didn't really care. In some ways, it still hasn't happened.
But it is happening.
It is starting.
It is happening. And if that's the focus for the rest of the season, I couldn't be happier, because that doesn't necessarily have to be. I'm sure there will be some shogi stuff in there and whatnot too. But they made the bond between the characters of Rei and Hina, and really all the Kawamotos, but so strong that it feels like the most natural thing in the world that they would care about each other so much that something like this could end up happening. And there's so much wholesomeness that I'm sure will come about with that happening that I just can't wait to see it, because a lot of the times whenever you go into like romance and stories, especially in anime, I feel like there's the need for more of like the drama / like comedy kind of things and whatnot, and that's great, that's fine, that definitely has its place, but when you get something that's just wholesome as all hell, like that
that's the good stuff.
That's the good stuff.
So we have a lot to look forward to. I love how in a lot of ways the second half focused so much on just the idea of Hina having this aura, if you will, but having a presence about her that told Rei everything was fine before she told
everything
him
was daijoubu.
that everything was fine. But in a symbolic way, more so than I almost like pinching myself right now saying that stupid thing about how it being somewhat creepy that he could look at her forever. I hate that I said that, because it's like, stop trying to make this about something that it's not. But what I wish I kind of had said, because I was noticing this, but I didn't really want to bring it up. Now I'm going to tie this back into the whole thing with the camera in the in the OP. Is that what Rei was doing? Was he wanted to capture this memory. He wanted to capture this moment and hold it forever. And this is the thing, for two reasons. One, the obvious one, is that he's seeing Hina in a good place. So for her sake, this is wonderful. This is amazing. He's like, I wish she could be at this level of peace all the time. This is wonderful. And so, thusly, anyone you see wreathed in basically the peace and joy and light of just life is good. It's so attractive. It's so magnetic, if you will. It's so perfect that in some ways it's okay to desire that to be captured, not just for their sake and to be held in place forever, but also for yours. Because what does he do after that? He falls asleep. He nods off. There's this peace that extends out to him. And just regardless of whether or not he was consciously aware of it, it lulled him to sleep. It pulled him into that same kind of energy, that just environment.
Lazing in the sun.
And that, if that's not the themes of this show, if that's not not capturing the beauty of like the positive aspects of this show, because there's a lot of heavy stuff in this show, but in terms of the positive parts of that, that's quintessential Sangatsu, like good stuff right there. That's what it is. It's the passive effect that happens once you've brought out your light, essentially, that it extends out, and the others that you've invited to connection with you are able to take part in that second-hand light, essentially. And then it feeds back, and it feeds back, and it bounces back and forth.
Creates this wonderful
thing. And that's what the Kawamoto's house has been, is that they came together so tightly because of the tragedy. And it put pressure on a lot of them. It was not easy. But because, sometimes
the sunshine.
Sometimes the best way to solve your own problems is to help someone else solve theirs. So, Akari, you're next. Akari, you're next. There's going to be too much bright light or anything else here for you to even, hold all that pain and struggle deep inside. So you're next, Akari.
You know what? I'm really excited to see how, if they decide to focus on this, even if it's for a little bit, how Momo reacks. Because Momo is Momo is such like a little test strip, for for just what's going on. Like if other people start crying, then she's just So
I love how she's in some ways like the Shaft neck tilt, but it's like it's not the neck tilt, it's the head like what? So I'm really excited to see how Momo deals with all just the positivity and wonderfulness that's going to be happening. She's going to be squawking and squeaking and making little like This episode made me happy on a number of levels. But that was that thing I wanted to mention with the camera, was
that's great.
They're capturing the light, if you will. Ha ha ha.
That's how cameras work.
And putting them and reflecting them out onto a surface that we can then look back on and hold tightly as not just a memory, but as an anchor for the meaning behind the connection that was shared when those people were captured on the photo.
Hina isn't a tsundere, she's a tsundere.
Oh my God!
That's probably one of the cringiest puns I've ever made.
We're not worthy. That was amazing. No, y'all. Shout out in chat if you made it to this end point in the discussion here, and like rate Jacob's pun on like a sun out of soon. I wanna get like so much feedback from the mods about comments surrounding not just this discussion, but like around that amazing pun right there. So y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. This was such a good episode. If you want to see the next episode's reaction discussion though right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there, and any level of support gets you access to our Discord, which has a lot of fun stuff going on. You can chat with the awesome people there about anime. You can chat with us about anime. You can get involved with community events there, or you can just hang out and we'll chat about whatever.
Like my book Battle Lines, which is still available for order on Amazon. The link is in the description down below, and who knows, there just might be maybe some signed copies left. So go check
very
it
cool.
out.
Yeah, the book's awesome, so check it out for sure. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.